Horses go through. Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up. Horses go through. Just let me be blunt. My speech in the morning, nothing but grunts. With no coffee, that's as dangerous. On a scale from 1 to 10, I rank it that girl from Stranger Things. And if you get what I'm saying, my attitude be mad flagrant like I'm Draymond. But you ain't get the picture, BFP. So I'm gonna keep pushing on you, GNC. It's like, yeah, the first thing on my mind is when that hot coffee gonna seep into the coffee grind. It's like some magic's floating all in the air. Toss some ice cubes in my cup and sick a day. All I gotta say is that it's starting in a good way. It's time for working and I don't even care. Just wake me up. Wake me up, don't let me down. Just give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up. Horses go through. Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up. Horses go through. Always start fresh, that's how it's gotta be. Everything starts back with your coffee beans. If it's cold brew, then it's gotta be coarse. Don't get the cart ahead of the horse, start learning the course. But of course you can disregard, and don't at me if it gets too hard. When it's my time to drink, man, it's always on hand. Drink from a cup or a bottle, even a can. You never know when you're craving no hit. It could be in the bathroom while you're taking a Ric Flair, I'll say he ain't got nothing on it. When that coffee hits my lips, it's a seance. Feeling real super with the cape on. Anything I'll take on. This cup of coffee, yeah boy, this is the shit. Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Just give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up. Horses go through. Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up. Horses go through. Third verse, so I guess that's where I talk about how we might be addicted in a roundabout kind of way, or how you say, a dependency that's in my life, and I'm proud to say it's filling me. Way more energy than I'll ever need, keeping me up for things I thought I'd never see. Time's gonna kill us all one day, whether old age, illness, or from listening to Coldplay.
Good morning, all of you beautiful nerds from around the world, and welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, the very best way to start your nerdy day. On today's show, we're talking some Loki, we're talking some Marvel Phase 4 multiverse theory. Could the Loki show be way more impactful on Phase 4 and the multiverse than we think? Well, I want to read an article, talk about some of the new updates with that, and go to Speculation Town on that. Also going to have Trinity from 2nd Street Marvel onto the show. We're going to talk comics, new comics this week. What should you be reading? What shouldn't you be reading? Etc., etc. It's going to be a good show. Before we get into all of that, let's say what is up to all of the Nerd Vengers, all of you beautiful people. Let's see here. Kate Steffens is in here. Russell's in here. Mr. Deeds is in the building. Keith's here. Bill M is here. Awesome 80s. Josh is here. Captain Pennsylvania. Steve Denton. Marvel Maniac. Russell's in the building. David Nations. Hector's here. Gray is here. Mike Porter. Josh. Star Wars. Santa landed. Doobs. Darth Clean, Knight 1223, Garth is here, Mr. Deeds, oh my god, I might have said it again, Trinity's here, Social Distance Warrior, Jennifer Cook, Jim Black, Mike Oz, Wayne White, Jacob's Quest here as well. What's up, everybody? Bunch of beautiful nerds in the building today. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Chet. Pause the music real quick, man. Pause the music. Big time news and updates. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Nerd Card Showdown. It's an elimination round, baby. The real spiel versus Asgardian Levioso. Star Wars Santa on there. 2 teams enter. 1 team leaves. Both teams leave, but one gets to keep playing. So be there tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a good time. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m., After Dark is back at it. If you're a Nerdvenger member, you got access to After Dark. They're going to be getting into the spice, the tea, all the words. They're getting into it tomorrow. It's going to be dope. You should definitely be there. Also, you know, some people don't even know about the Nerdvengers and what's going on with all of that. So we're no longer doing a Patreon, and instead we're focusing on channel memberships over on this channel to help us out. It's been awesome, man. We're 20 members away from 100 members. I want to get to 100 members by the end of the week, but don't feel pressured. If you don't have any loot, don't worry about it. The broke Vengers are real as well, and we love our broke Vengers. We absolutely do. But if you got a little loot and you want to support the content and get access to some behind-the-scenes stuff, join the membership today! I don't know. Was that a good sell? I don't know. That felt a little whack. Felt a little whack to me. All right, let's get into some news. I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about the multiverse stuff before we bring Trinity in today. So let's get into that first, okay? Let's get into that. Let's start this off right. Come on, Chet. You can do it. Come on, Chet. You can do it. Hey, buddy. Remember production? Remember doing stuff? It's the craziest news of the day. Oh, this news is crazy. That's right. It's the craziest news of the day. This is coming to us from The Direct. This is really interesting. I'm going to read right from the article. I'm going to break down what it means. It was reported almost 2 weeks ago that Loki, along with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, was planning on returning to production in August. However, unlike the latter, of which fans have been able to see multiple on-set photos and even footage, much of Loki has been unseen. That's not the correct word. Anyway, however, many rumors have already come out since production was delayed by the thing that you shouldn't say, such as Kang the Conqueror appearing in the series along with a child variant of Loki. But showrunner Michael Waldron and director Kate Herron are implying that fans should look forward to the unexpected. The director of Loki, Kate Henson, seems to have backed the opinion of Loki showrunner Michael Waldron on Instagram. Both are now teasing how the show will use the sci-fi genre in unexpected ways. And this is just some evidence they have from a note on their Instagram, but here's basically what it says. In his Instagram story, Waldron makes the comments about Loki page on Disney Plus that I like the Green Nebula. It indicates that this is a science fiction show. He goes on to describe the genre, and when it comes to science fiction, he says, expect the unexpected. Woo! Wild stuff. Wild stuff. Okay, so look, I'll be totally real with you guys. There's not a ton in that article, not a lot to chew on. But here's the deal, and I want to know how you guys feel about this, especially, okay? The main thing that has been super confusing about Loki is that we know it's going to be involving the Time Variance Authority. We know it's going to be using some heavy time-traveling stuff. One of the earliest reports that we had about the show as far as the plot was that it's going to involve Loki sort of causing mischief in this alternate timeline, recreating historical moments throughout Earth's history. There's also a lot of rumors that Kang the Conqueror will be involved in the show, possibly tying into some other things in the future. The question is, how is the Space Stone taking Loki through time? It doesn't make any sense! Unless this is tied to the fact that the Infinity Stones, having been broken in that main timeline, and then the creation of these offshoot timelines, what if they're connected? There's a lot of rumors that Loki will show up in Thor 4. Thor 4. He might even be the person that has the Mjolnir and gives the Mjolnir to Jane Foster. Interesting. There's even been rumors that Tom Hiddleston Loki, or perhaps a different Loki, because you might get a young Loki, you might get a female Loki. A different Loki might appear in Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. Big time rumor. So what does this mean? Well, when you think about the multiverse, right? Could it be possible that the Space Stone, Loki uses the Space Stone to just get out of there? But because the Infinity Stones get broken in the main timeline, and perhaps that causes this ripple effect throughout the other universes, what if Loki takes the Space Stone and ends up going through time without even knowing it, or at least not intending it? And what if the Time Variance Authority and Kang are aware of this destruction within the timelines, and they create a scenario in which the Loki show tees off some very important multiversal craziness for the MCU in Phase 4? Because if Loki comes back in Thor 4, and that movie is dealing with some of the craziness in the multiverse, which I assume it will, and then you end cap, pardon me, and then you end cap that phase with Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness, which we think, at least I think, is going to set up the beginning of the Time Runs Out event from Jonathan Hickman's run up to Secret Wars. I'm still on it. So, could this all be connected? Well, of course it's all connected. But could it be a part of a grand plan? I think so. Now I want to know. Let me check the chat. I haven't really seen what you guys said. I haven't really seen what you said. What do you think? What do the Nerd Vengers think? The sun will shine on us again, brother. Yes, Loki will be in Thor 4. Yeah, I totally believe that. Wow, Speculation Town, where's that emoji? We had to take that one down. It wasn't working. We got to rework it. I can skip 10 secs. What are you talking about, Cassandra? That'd be so awesome. Yeah. Secret Wars is going to be the next Infinity War / Endgame. Cap off Phase 6 or 7. I agree, dude. Man, they'd be hating on me for that. The TVA will be the ones bringing him in through time because he's created a new timeline when he left with the Space Stone. Very possible. Very interesting. Never abandon Secret Wars, Josh. Never let it go! Did I miss the nerd card plug? You did, Landon. You did. But your team, along with Santa, will be participating tonight in an elimination round. Tonight. Oh, goodness, man. I'm like not on top of my game. This is like the sloppiest stream ever. Just wanted to say Dark Avengers, that's all. Hell yeah, man. Moving through the fourth dimension, space to time to travel to different times makes sense in the time travel theory MCU operates under. Eh? Using the fourth dimension space to travel to different times makes sense in the MCU. You just broke my brain, dude. I don't know. Maybe you're right. You just broke my brain. Any actors you'd like to see play Kang? Well, it's going to be Owen Wilson, so I hope everybody's ready for, well, you know. Well, want to say Thunderbolts? Yeah, Thunderbolts is probably more likely. The stones always want to be drawn. Okay, that's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. By the way, I definitely saw some people hit me up about the magic thing, so we'll definitely get into that, and we'll talk all about that. All right, let's try to get Trinity on the line here. Let's try to get Trin on the line here. Huh? Let's give him a call. Let's give this man a call on the old Discord, see if he picks up. Maybe Trinity doesn't wanna.
What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good, good. How you all doing this morning?
Doing well over here, brother. Let me get your, we got your audio. Let me work on getting your video. Real quick, before we get into the comic book stuff, what do you think about this Loki thing? What's going on with Loki?
I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like anybody really knows. I mean, I guess this is where's the extra beef over this?
Yeah, right? It just doesn't seem to be as spicy, right? But yeah, it's funny. We haven't really seen a lot from Loki. There's been a couple set leaks, and there was a moment in time where we did a couple videos in a row, you know, with the Owen Wilson stuff, the Kelsey Grammer stuff. Yeah, wow. Yeah, some crazy stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. It has always bugged me, though, that the Space Stone is helping him go through time. I don't get that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I think there's definitely some stuff to that, for sure. Oh wait, okay, yeah, just making sure my camera's on. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of stuff going on there. Now, the one thing I will kind of argue is like if like the Space Stone, if you're traveling through space, if you can bend space, you're essentially bending time. If I'm not mistaken, could be wrong. Space and time kind of goes together. But not only that, if you remember back in Thor Ragnarok, when Loki got kicked out of when they were going through the Bifrost Bridge, he got kicked out. And remember, he arrived
before Thor.
Yeah, he arrived before Thor, like weeks. I think he said he was weeks or something. So I think there's some sort of there's something to that. I think, but also, I mean, he could possibly have access to. I mean, the Time Stone still existed at that time, and they knew where it was, and we've seen that in Endgame. So it's really hard to say. There's just so much that could be going on. But not only that, but just like I was saying in the comments about Enchantress being in the series, people were talking about there possibly being a female Loki in there, and I said, okay, I think the one that, and the reason I put it in the comments is like female Loki is Enchantress changed my mind is because everybody I've seen that in some of the leaks, and I think this person that they're calling the female Loki is probably Enchantress. That's
kind of what I think too. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
And some of the comics I was reading, one of her things that she could do is she could rewind time. She could send them back in time with some of her magic that she possessed. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, maybe there is something to that. I don't know. It's interesting. I think there's a lot that we don't know, obviously, about Phase 4, but I think that it's actually pretty well planned out. And once we start like hearing about it and seeing stuff, we're gonna be like, oh shit, this is pretty crazy. And I think Loki's gonna play a big role in it. Man, I don't want to get super lost down that rabbit hole. Okay, let me ask you this. Let's talk some comics. How are comics this week? I noticed, and I'm a little behind, but I noticed a lot of good books dropped this week. Felt like a good week. Do you agree?
Yeah. Definitely some good stuff coming out. Definitely. It's definitely a good week, I'd say, for sure.
I did see, though, on Twitter, you were talking about Giant Size X-Men, and you're not a fan. So do you want to start there? I know you got a video about it. Oh, shit. There it is. So I know you got a video coming about it. You don't have to spoil everything, but you want to kind of give us some of your thoughts on that?
Well, I will say that with these since the whole House of X, Powers of X is launched. Well, I guess the Dawn of X, because they didn't have these during the Hox Pox, but these giant size X-Men issues have been they've been letdowns. They've been huge letdowns, and I'll tell you that. So if you're out there and you're reading, you're curious if you should read them, they're huge letdowns. I wouldn't say to. You could definitely go check out some channels for some spoiler reviews to tell you everything that's going on in them. Yeah, and I was really kind of disappointed in this book in a lot of ways.
Oh man, like why? Like you got to give me a little something because I was gonna buy it. I was this morning. I was catching up on my stuff, and I bought like 3 or 4 books, and then I saw that one pop up, and I was like, "Ooh, giant size X-Men, nice! I'll probably get that next." But now I might not.
You read digital comic books, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Save your monies, all right? Save your monies. They got these little. I'll send you the digital.
Oh, nice, beautiful.
Yeah, this just like the art in this book, I didn't really like it. Just wasn't great. The cover's nice.
Yeah, the cover looks good.
I wouldn't spend $5 for a cover.
Yeah.
The story that goes on in here is really. I don't know what this book was supposed to be about. Like Magneto goes to do one thing and one thing only. It kind of curves off on this little story, and that's about it. He gets what he wanted when he came at the end of the story. That's about it.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it seems not that cool. Yeah. What books do you recommend this week? Is there anything that was like really, really good?
Definitely the death metal stuff has been good.
Yeah, dude.
I don't really know anything about any of these characters. Hopped on right at death metal #1. Read this one, and it's pretty interesting. What they've got going on here is all the heroes are kind of coming together to try to take down, what is it, the Batman who laughs here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is here, what I didn't like in this issue was Batman. I'm like, come on, Batman, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It was a good issue. Definitely another one I would say read. I know a lot of people might be polarizing for some people because I know some people don't like him, but that Snake Eyes, Dead Eyes is a good one.
Is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I don't really read G.I. Joe or anything like that, but I picked up this one. It was a #1. Rob Liefeld, Snake Eyes, Dead Game. I mean, come on, we got ninja stuff going on here. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
Right on. I love me some ninja stuff too. The only stuff that because I'm like super behind, but I did read some of the Deceased. They did #5 of the new digital series, which I was really loving. And the thing that's really cool about it is it's telling you the story, like where the Deceased book is at now. It's sort of telling you the story of how we get there with some of these characters. And I've talked about this a lot, but like I'm a big fan of Jonathan Kent and Damian Wayne and that relationship, and so a lot of that stuff's being, they're in the future and they're grown up and Deceased, and you're seeing sort of how they get there in the 99-cent digital stuff, and I just really, really like it. So that's the one I'd recommend. I got to read the new Avengers because it's got Moon Knight. It's continuing that story, which I thought was really dope. And then the death metal stuff. I got to get that. Dude, I'm loving that death metal shit. Like, if you guys aren't reading death metal, it is so good. It is so good. And there was a panel in the first issue where Batman uses a certain ring. And as a big-time fan of that era of the DC Comics, like that shit was dope. I was like, whoa, like he's got that ring, he's using it. It was really, really cool. So yeah, that's all I could recommend. I'm a little bit behind. Is there anything else you recommend for the peeps, man? Anything they got to be reading?
Honestly, AWA, that's Artists, Writers, and Artisans.
Yeah.
Started they just started like right before the COVID hit, man.
Yeah.
They've been doing a good job putting out some books, and this week they got Year Zero and Red Border that came out. Both great books, but the thing here with these books, what they're doing over there is AWA Upshot was Axel Alonso.
Mm-hmm.
Axel Alonso. Yeah. Alonso, or is it? I think I got that right.
Yeah, you got it right.
He is one of the head guys over there that kind of started bringing the talent together to get all these things started. They've got they've been putting out a bunch of good titles over here. And what I like about them is just kind of what they were setting out to do is just like this comic book set in the real world with just real, but with this certain tone going on in this sort of shared universe that's kind of like where the world is already at fallout and things like that, or just different things like just kind of that scenario. It's been very good. It's been very good, and it's not so bad that things are completely on the brink either. So it's still somewhat the world that we live in, just a little bit crazier. And this week's Red Border issue number 3 was phenomenal, man. Like this book is so funny because it's one of those books that it's telling this story that you could, like, depending on who you are and what you could like this story for different reasons, because the characters in here, the main characters, like you're kind of rooting for them to get away from the situation that's happening. But at the same time, depending on how you feel, somebody else might look at this and be like, oh yeah, these people are gonna get it. And at the same time, it's kind of a great like thriller horror tale.
Nice.
Like it's just like really, really good. I mean, just all the way around.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. This is what I'm curious about. So Axel was sort of criticized as being like politically heavy, like heavy on the political stuff when he was at Marvel. A lot of people sort of blame him for the whole like all new, all different Marvel and like a big focus on diversity and those kind of things. Is there some of that? Like, are these politically charged books?
They are definitely politically charged. But I would say from what I've read in them, there's no politics that are, they're not pushing one side or the other. It's just done in like a real sort of way. Because like I said, in Red Border here, that you basically got these what they are is it's these this Mexican couple, and they jumped the border because they were trying to escape from this Mexican mafia.
Okay.
And they ended up getting here to the United States as soon as they got across. There was a family of people out there in Texas who found them and happily took them in, totally without their own agenda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then even like another one they got that's written by J. Michael Straczynski.
Yeah.
Which is the first one they launched was The Resistance. That book it's kind of like, it's a superhero book. It's all about these superheroes. I mean, almost like the X-Men kinda, but you're getting what happened was there was a plague that basically, or a virus that kind of swept the world. It's really weird, but it swept the world and it wiped out a huge portion of the population. And there was a small portion of the people that got affected that still survived, but they, some of them died, some of them survived, and some of them got superpowers.
Okay,
and
cool.
It basically affected all classes, rich, poor, white, black, Hispanic, Mexican, all the different races, like, no discrimination.
Yeah.
And it's been an interesting book.
That's
been an
dope.
interesting book. And the art in it has characters that look like actors, like Harvey Keitel's in it, and so is Ed Harris.
Really? That's dope.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, man. It made me think, just because, like, Marvel got a lot of crap over the past couple of years, and there's that whole, like, the whole culture war thing, right? It makes me think that, like, and this is something that I really like about, like, your content or whatever, is you're kind of like, hey, just because it's politically charged or deals with social issues does not mean it's not good. And I find it interesting that Axel is doing sort of the politically charged stuff, but without the constraints maybe of like Marvel and the lifestyle brand and imaging stuff that they do over there. And it kind of almost feels like a better fit. Like, I'm starting to get to this point, and we might go a little off the rails. We might see some stay on target emojis here. But my thing is, I almost think that it's not the social messaging that's the problem. It's like corporate, like that, where social messaging meets corporate agendas, essentially, right? So I think some of the things that have happened and some of the things that people are criticizing Marvel about actually don't have a lot to do with the social messaging. They have to do with the constraints of corporate comics and how they want to portray that stuff. And I haven't read any of this stuff. I want to, and I should, so that we can have a better conversation about it. But, like, Is there some truth to that? Like, are you feeling that in some of the stuff you're reading?
I would say, that's what you're saying there is spot on because that's just kind of really what's been going on with a lot of the pushback anyway with like the DCs and the Marvels as far as like the social narratives and the more so pushing of like the political agenda kind of stuff in the books is, people don't want these classic characters changed, from what they were. And that's not to say that you can't tell stories that have to deal with that. It's just the way that you do it. It should be thought provoking, make a person think about stuff instead of just being so on the nose all the time. Which is, I think, it seemed to me like that's what is what happened a lot. Just from some of the books that I read, because I remember, you go back and read Nick Spencer's Sam Wilson Captain America, and it's literally like going back and watching Fox News and CNN from like 2015 leading into the elections with, hashtag not my captain and just everything going on there is kind of like, for me, I think that's kind of lazy. While the story itself was okay, it's part of a larger story that I like. I think that when you do that kind of stuff within the confines of all of these classic characters that people have loved for years is when you start to get that pushback because it's just too on the nose.
Yeah.
Where you got something that's brand new that you just started, you're starting with a clean slate. There's no expectation of characters and what you have to do with them or anything. You're essentially creating all new characters, all new world, everything. That's where you do it. And that's what I like about these books is they kind of establish that. And there's nothing, I haven't read anything in any of these books that's too overly, I would say, having an on-the-nose agenda or anything like that. They're just telling good, thought-provoking stories.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's actually the way that it should go. But it's just interesting, man, because Axel got, he got hit pretty hard for all that. And now it's just funny to see him be like, no, I can do this and do it the right way. I don't know. I think that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this digital thing. Marvel walking back on the digital thing. You hit me up on Twitter about this. Do you want to explain this to everybody?
Yeah, well, if you've watched my channel long enough, you've probably heard me rant and rave about Hawkeye Freefall and how they took this book, and it was originally set to only be 5 issues. I'm not even sure when it got turned into 6 issues, but it was originally supposed to be 5. Issue number 4 came out. The pandemic obviously hit, shut everything down, and then they decided to go digital to finish out the series. And I'm like, it's 1 issue, and they did this with several series, and then they all of a sudden just made the decision to go ahead and walk it back, and they're going to put out print copies of just a handful of, not all the ones that they canceled, but like Spider-Gwen, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. There was the Hawkeye Freefall, and I think there was a couple others as well. And to me, for one, I ranted and raved about it enough, and I feel like I'm getting ready to go off again. But it's just to me, it's stupid and ridiculous why they would make the decision to go ahead and release the digital. Then you're not gonna release it, and then you do the digital, and then you're gonna just after it's already out on digital, like, okay, we're gonna release it now. Like, if you would have let me know then, maybe, or something, but I don't know, because even DC did that, but they were doing it at a time when there weren't being comic books distributed, and I thought that was great. They started doing it once comic books were already being distributed, and they just had to shut it down. I just didn't, I don't get it.
Yeah, and then it's so weird. So they need to, decide beforehand, and I think it was one of those things maybe where they were like, okay, well, we're gonna do this and let's just do it now in the middle of runs and in the middle of all this other stuff. It's pretty whack. If you look at what DC's doing with the Tom Taylor DC stuff, I think that's really smart and a really good model. It's priced correctly. So yeah, it's just one of those situations where they just screwed up the execution, and they just need to be better about planning it. And I think in some ways, it's like, you could give them a little bit of slack just because the whole world's melting down and everybody's trying to figure this shit out. So in that sense, you could probably give them some slack. But they need to just figure it out and stick to it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I didn't want to ruin anything, Josh. Now, since you're talking about that,
Yeah.
I was still going to go out there and buy issue 5 and 6 of Hawkeye Freefall.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, I'm not a collector or anything, but I got the dang 4 issues. I read all 4 issues.
Yeah, you want to complete it. Yeah.
I don't want to buy them digital.
Yep.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, the digital buying.
I'm not that mean.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I'm a softie.
There you go. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of good books out there. I saw aggressively talking about Empire. There's a couple of Empire books this week, but I'm kind of turned off at Empire. I got to be honest. Maybe I'll give some of these new things some shots here, but that last one was like, what the hell's going on here? You know, it wasn't super into it.
I figured on that I'd probably wait for trade paperback, or even just wait to read it on Marvel Unlimited to read that. Just like, even they're doing which is funny because, you know, bringing up like the events, like I'm pretty much out on events. I'll wait for events for the trade paperbacks or whatnot.
Yeah. Because
for one, it usually it seems like it's kind of a mess, jumbled up. But then, with the exception of this X of Swords that's getting ready to come out, or 10 of Swords, it's X. Dang it.
Yeah, it's X. It's X.
Yeah, it's X. you get on there, but there's only 3 issues out of the normal, you know, issues that are already going on. So it's like a faux event.
Yeah. I think that one particularly is like a faux event. Like, I don't understand the significance of it, why it's so important. It would be dope if it like led into Empire, and then it was like Empire versus the mutants with swords and all that. But I don't even think that's what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You know, I kind of wanted to ask you, we're getting a little off topic here, but I kind of wanted to ask you, what do you think of this DC drama, man? You know what I mean? Like, we had those guys on the show yesterday. We talked about that scoop. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure you had some thoughts. What were you thinking?
Yeah, just too much, man. Just too much. It's I mean, I'm older than probably most of the people here, with the exception of maybe my favorite Porter.
Yep.
So, and you know, and maybe Wayne might be up there with me as well. But like, I see all this stuff. I'm like, a lot of it is this internet culture stuff, and believe me, there's people my age and, you know, even older, who get too into everything that they're doing, this scooper thing and all this beef that's going on. And it's like, does all this stuff really matter that much? I mean, messaging people, telling them, you know, to off themselves, and just all kinds of grotesque things. I mean, is it that serious over movies and all that kind of stuff? And then also, even I feel like even seeing those messages and even taking any of those to weight and even letting that even linger on your mind, to me is also kind of ridiculous too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can't blame anybody for that, because that's kind of what the internet does to people. Like I was even saying yesterday towards the end of my stream, even I myself take times away from social media, and believe me, like, I don't really buy in and feed into all this stuff that's going on there. I get on the internet to have fun.
Yeah.
But still, I take time off the internet and decompress and all that same stuff too. But that's just something everybody should do. But it's also part of my routine every day as well, just kind of maintaining my health, be it going out in the garage and lifting some weights, getting on my bike, going for a bike ride. These are all kinds of things that, I mean, people really need to think about when thinking about mental health and things as well, because, you know, I mean, I probably don't need to tell you that everything it's all interlinked. Your physical health, your mental health, everything, like all of it. It's all woven together, and you got to take care of every single aspect. You can't neglect one and expect good results for all of them at all.
Yeah, it's pretty
you
crazy.
You got to have a balance.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, I mean, the situation's so weird. The thing that's really weird to me is how many people were so mad that I even talked to these guys, or that I was talking about this scoop. Like,
right.
The thing is, I think it goes a little deeper than just a scoop about Ben coming back to play Batman. I think for some of these scoopers and some of these Hollywood people, they literally feel threatened by these dudes, and I don't know what to make of it. Like, on the one hand, I'm like, well, that validates Taylor. Like, the fact that so many people are so upset means There's something there, right? And
Right.
they have something to lose, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
they're upset. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know, dude. I really don't know the guy, and I thought the whole fake picture thing was pretty suspect. I was like, that's pretty sus. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and that's the thing. And like I said, to me, the one thing I've noticed with all this whole scooper gig thing anyway, and and it's certainly not everybody out there, but I've noticed like a lot of these dudes, they've got these really huge egos and really low self-esteem, and that combination just doesn't seem to work out too good.
no, it's
And
never a good
it's just
combo.
really weird because I see the way they act on social media and stuff like that. And like I said, I get on social media and I bust a lot of balls anyway, man. I don't really care. I'm always having fun, but I can see a lot of these people. I'm just like, just observing just the patterns. Like you're you're like way too into that. Like this is really serious. And I get this is your career, this is your
Mhm.
life and stuff like that. But you're taking this way too seriously. And like, come on, maybe one person just has better sources than the other. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different things at play here. Who's really to say?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's all funny, and because it ultimately comes down to the same thing, almost like it is here on YouTube, where you get everybody, running and scurrying to get that scoop and that story out there first, and of course, when there's one story, there's always got to be a conflicting story. There's
Yeah.
always got to be, that hater out there and all that stuff. It's just like I don't know. It can
It's
drive a person
dude,
crazy.
it's
And I
Game
get
of Thrones. That's what it is. It's like
Yeah,
Game of Thrones for
yeah.
these people, and it's there's like a lot of stuff I can't fucking say, and it sucks because
Yeah.
like I know some stuff that behind the scenes that's like, I don't know. It's a little weird. Like this situation particularly is so weird because the Snyder Cut clearly changed things, right? So like I don't understand how people are still operating under the old model when clearly the old model was broken here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's got to be some leeway. Like I don't know the cultured nerd. You know what I mean? Like I don't know these guys
Yeah.
at all. But I know that the Snyder Cut's happening. I know for
Right.
2 years
Right.
Hollywood insiders and trades were like, it's not happening. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
how can
and-
I in good conscience sit back and be like, well, the normal sense making apparatus I have that was wrong about the Snyder Cut, I'm gonna go back to that with regards to this scoop, and now that's gonna be the thing. I just don't get it, man. I don't know.
Right. And I think that's one thing that's like definitely attracted me to your channel in the first place, but probably a lot of the people here is that like you're not necessarily scooping here, but you're taking all the scoops, you take them, you go through it all, you sift through it all, you digest it, and then you put it back out there with what you think is really going on,
Right.
in a very sensical manner, without the same like sort of ego that these scoopers are going to have, because they're the ones who are scooping all this stuff. You're just reporting on what they're saying,
Yeah.
and the way in which you do it, I think, is very good. And that's, like I said, I think that's what a lot of us come here for, is just for that. Because I think a lot of the times, kind of the same way you do, is like you gotta look at everything that's going on here and know that the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think in this situation, like say this guy from the Cultured Nerd, maybe he does just have a better source of information that clashes with everybody else's, because and the other thing that people seem to forget too is things change.
Yeah, for sure.
Things change. Nothing's set in concrete,
Yeah.
So I think there's just a combination of things going on here. Egos are definitely at play. People don't want to lose credibility. In the end, I mean, does it really ruin your credibility if this movie comes out or this rumor becomes true and you were wrong? I mean, it makes that bigger of a difference if you throw
I'll
a fit
say
about
this
it.
for the cultured nerd: if Ben does not come back in any capacity, like at all,
Oh yeah,
bad look, dude. Like,
yeah.
like
yeah.
it.
totally.
I'm sorry, like it's become that now. Like maybe at first it wasn't that way, but now with all the heat, with all the back and forth, with all the people that are like, I mean, like again, it's Game of Thrones, right? So like the army's
Right.
at the gates, bro. Like they're ready. If
What if he already had some home runs under his belt, though?
I don't think they do. I don't think they
I know,
have
but
any.
I'm saying,
yeah.
like, if he did have some home runs under his
He'd be
belt and it
cool.
was just
Yeah.
one thing,
Right, he'd be okay.
it would it would change your perception a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we talk about this too. Like there's no scooper other than the Roger Wardell, the old Roger Wardell. That's 100%. Because like you said, things do change, right? So you can report something accurately and then things change and it becomes inaccurate and the whole internet is not going to want to hear it. They do not care.
Right.
They're just like, nope, didn't happen. You're wrong. Like they're just going to freak out. So like, I'm telling you, like, dude, and I tried to explain this to these guys as well. I was like, guys, if this isn't true, you'll never work in this town again. You know what I mean? Like the old adage, like that is a death sentence for your credibility because they've really chosen this hill to die on. On the other hand, if it is true, what does it mean about all the people saying it's not true?
Right. Yeah, and that's the funny thing about it, and that's why it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of amusing to sit there and watch the whole thing go down. The unfortunate thing is the toll that it takes on the people that are involved. Really, that's the unfortunate thing about it all.
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, the mental health thing is
crazy.
It's tough. Look, there's. I think you and I probably align on this. Like, we think much the same way about this. But to be fair, neither one of us are psychiatrists or experts about this at all. We just feel this is the right way to go about it. We have a notion that this is the way that it goes. So we don't know. But we're both probably aligned where we're like, nah, man, you got to be strong. Like, you got to be strong. Now, when you can't be strong, I'm like, dude, then like the people need to be there for you and you need to go get help and support. It's like if you're, I think of it a lot like fitness, you were talking about, where it's like, no, you need to be in the gym. You need to be doing cardio. You need to be putting stress on your body. But if you get injured, of course you need to take a break and heal.
Right.
It's the same thing with mental health, right? You need to be strong. You need to be working your mind, thinking, meditating, taking care of yourself. But if you're injured, if you got a mental health injury, you need to go heal. You know what I mean? That's the way I think of it. But again, we're not experts. We have no idea what we're talking about. We're just people on the internet.
Right. But, I don't read books. I only watch YouTubers.
But you watch some good ones. Tom Bilyeu's a pretty good one, man. You know what I mean? Tom Bilyeu is a pretty good one.
And like the guests that he has on his show are just phenomenal. I love watching just all those interviews. Like, and the same thing for High Intensity Health. This guy Mike Mutzel, he got I haven't seen so many lately, but he used to do these interviews with these doctors that just go into like these crazy things. Like, man, just all these little things to do with your health that just make a world of difference.
Well, and we're always finding new stuff out. Like, dude, this dude was on Rogan. It was like last week or some shit, and he's talking about how literally breathing through your nose creates all these significant deviations among people's health, physical and mental. Like, you're telling me that the mouth breather thing, which I thought was a meme, might actually be real? And if you're a mouth breather, you might literally be hurting your physical and mental health? Holy shit! Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So we're constantly learning new stuff about this as well.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy that you're bringing that up, though, too, is because I know they always say, try to breathe in your nose and out your mouth, but the ultimate thing is to start just breathing through your nose, especially when you're doing, like, endurance sports. And they say when people do it, like, it has a sensation, like almost kind of, I don't know, like euphoric in a way for your body, and it's, like, really good. And so, yeah, I mean, I never heard what you were talking about, but, I mean, it makes sense, because just hearing some of the science and just other things going on out there, just really crazy.
Again, this is not certified information, so don't take this to the bank, everybody that's watching. But I find it fascinating that a lot of the ancient wisdoms, a lot of the old world adages and just little pieces of wisdom that we've carried throughout our cultures throughout time, I find it fascinating that a lot of that stuff still holds true today. So particularly like when it comes to like ancient China, like, and in some ways I just got lucky because my father is a martial artist and like a naturalist and all these things, right? But China has thought that breathing and breathing exercises were a very important part to health for a long, long time. And if you look at the traditions of like yoga, so there's this thing in yoga called Ujjayi breath, or like the breath of life, I think is the translation. But it's essentially like a forceful breathing through the nose. And if you've ever done yoga, they will talk to you about the Ujjayi breath, which is like you make you literally compress the air through your nose as you're breathing. And you make like a crazy sound with it. It sounds like the ocean, actually. We're way off target here. We're way off target. But no, I just find that stuff kind of fascinating. I think that breath work and breathing through the nose and yoga is an incredibly good thing. And I think more people should look into that. Or
how about even this one? Food is medicine. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah, right. For sure. For sure. Yeah. You got to watch what you eat, 100%. But anyways, brother, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you get out of here, get ready for your stream. And guys, we're going to go into the theater. I want to just go over a couple of things with you guys. But yeah, we'll let you get out of here. Trinity, anything you want to plug? Any big things you want people to go check out on the channel?
Don't really have anything big planned this week. Just got some comic book reviews getting ready to come up. And
when's the next nerd therapy, dude? I need more nerd therapy. I need it.
I'm gonna get a guest lined up probably for next week.
Cool.
Have everything ready to go for another one of those. Yeah, I really like that. You know, I honestly thought about starting another show also that might be the opposite, but I was like, nah, let's stick with the other one first. Let's let it catch fire.
Yeah, no, hey, I like it, man. I like it. I think that what you're doing over there with that is really, really cool. So I'm into it.
I can't wait to get another one of those done. The first one was great.
Someday I'll get on there. I'll do a nerd therapy, but then everyone will unsubscribe. So just gotta be careful. But all right, brother, I'm gonna let you go, man. We'll send people over when you get your stream started. Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Take care, brother. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do some you and me time. Let's do some you and me time at the end of the stream. How's everybody doing? What'd you guys think about things? We were saying stuff, you know? Oh, yeah, we need some more likes, dude. It's embarrassing. Only 46 likes or something like that? Ugh. Can I demonstrate the yoga breathing? Sure. So... like, and you can't, like, it's one of those weird things where if you're doing it right, you feel like the compression of the air coming through the back of the mouth, and inside your head it'll sound more like the ocean. I think it sounds like normal breath outside of it. Can I give you a quick rundown on what we talked about today? Absolutely, brother. Let's go into the theater though, because I want to show you guys some cool stuff too. So we talked about Loki, a little bit of business there, talking about the very weird sci-fi aspects of Loki. We theorized about how that could tie into Thor 4, to Doctor Strange 2, and just the multiverse at large for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Crazy stuff. I hope it's all true. I hope it's really cool. And then we just talked about comics. We talked about comics. Trinity's big on Giant Size X-Men not being worth it. He's trying to tell people not to get that book. Plugged a couple of other things. There's a ton of good comics this week, so that was really cool. And then we got way off target and talked about a yoga a bunch. So that was fun. So let's see what's going on in the world of Marvel Studios. Spoilers. So actually, this is really interesting. I'm going to do a video on this later, like a big video. X-Men under Feige will be just fine. And this is a really interesting article where they interview some people that used to work with Feige when he was doing like the Blade movie, the Spider-Man movies, and the X-Men movies. Really cool stuff. Want to do a video on that and break down how cool it is that people understand the impact that Feige had back then, and the reality was he didn't have all the power, and now he does. So yeah, really interesting stuff. Also, kind of unfortunate. Kind of seems like we won't see X-Men probably for like 5 years, which is tough, but it is what it is. Here's something that's really interesting. A lot of people, I saw Grace Randolph pop a little video out. I didn't watch the video, but I saw that she did it, about the new trailers for Marvel stuff possibly coming out on like ESPN with the new NBA stuff kind of seems like a no-brainer. I don't know why none of us were thinking about it, probably because we're not all big sports ball fans, but like, yeah, makes sense. Put your Marvel stuff on your sports ball stuff. Makes sense. So, hey, man, maybe we'll be getting some cool Marvel stuff to talk about soon, you know? It's really fun. CGM Show says, Tom Holland just started filming Uncharted. Is big hope it means Disney Plus stuff can back on track. Yeah, and thanks for the love, CGM. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, that was cool. So there's a photograph of Tom Holland, and he's on an instant. He's talking about working with Mark Wahlberg, which kind of makes you think, like, yeah, he's going to be doing the Uncharted thing first and then Spider-Man. So, yeah, it's very possible. Look, here's what's really weird. From what I gather, Hollywood productions are going to be able to figure this out. They're getting back on track. They're going to be able to make the content. The missing piece is the theaters. We don't know if we can get back into theaters, if theaters can open up, how that's all going to work. We don't know. That is less certain than the production, which leads us into some tough discussions. Tough discussions. VOD, baby, says Jacob's Quest. Yeah. But the NBA is crap. I like the NBA. I'm not like huge into it or whatever, but I enjoy watching a good b-ball game. See how those Lakers do. Overslept in the morning, all? Don't worry about it, Rob. Hey, don't worry about it, bro. Can you tell us about the emojis? Yeah, for sure. So this is something, by the way, for all of you Nerdvengers members and potential Nerdvengers members, join button right next to the subscribe button, helps the channel out. Each Saturday at noon, we go over like behind the scenes stuff. We just talk as a community about like what we want to do on the channel, et cetera, et cetera. So last Saturday, we talked about, well, 2 Saturdays ago, we talked about all the emojis we wanted. So I got a lot of feedback from the Nerdvenger members, and then I went and created all the emojis. So you've got the Josh Confused, you got the Nerdy Heart, which seems to be a really popular one, and I'm really glad about it. You've got the Demonetized Death Star, which is usually used like if I'm saying some stuff like if anytime we say COVID or something like that, it's probably going to get demonetized. People spam that. There's the Stay on Target emoji when I get way too off target to put that out there. There's the Chet emoji. That's the dude with the brown paper bag. The Star Wars Santa emoji is like be nice. You know what I mean? So we kind of spam that when we want everybody to be nice. There's the me raging out. The Trinity, are you streaming? So they're just meant to give a little nice flavor to the members for them to be able to talk about stuff in a way that the non-members cannot, right? So, yeah. And we need to adjust them. Like, maybe I'll go in there if I got some time today and adjust them because the words need to be a little bit more clear for all of them. I want another rage rant. I mean, we could do a rage rant. I'm just not raging today. You know what I mean? I'm feeling pretty chill. Lava says the chat emoji rocking hard. Yeah. And as we get more members, we get more emojis. We had to remove a couple of them. Google's really weird. They didn't like some of the things we were doing, so we had to remove a couple of them. So we're going to go in and try to figure that out. But yeah, the Nerdvengers thing is great, man. You guys are awesome. It's really, really awesome. The Nerd Heart is perfect, for sure. Did you ever get that auto-tune working? Doubtful. I could check it out, but doubtful. So no. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with it, to be honest with you. I think it's actually Streamlabs. I think it's a Streamlabs problem, not a... Like, does this... No, this doesn't change it at all. Let me see. Do I have the voice mod thing in here? Maybe I can just add... Let me see. Let's see if we can figure this out. And my computer's being particularly stupid today. So let's try this. Does this work at all? Give me 1 second. I don't hear any change with the voice mod thing, right? I mean, let me see. I know we could do... What about this? Oh my god. No! No! What the fuck just happened? That's what I get. That's what I get for on the fly trying to figure that shit out. Lavis is like, hey, you got that voice? You got that auto-tunes working? And I'm like, yeah, let me fuck everybody's ear real quick. Awesome. Okay, so no, Lavis, I don't have it fixed. Thanks. Oh my god. That shit was ridiculous. I just almost shit my pants. Like, that was scary, dude. Get this shit out of here. Get this out of here. I've closed that program. Get that out of my face. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Cue the Josh rant. Nah, I mean, I got nobody to blame but myself for that. That was stupid. Well, I can figure it out real quick. There we go. How you guys doing? Ah! Not on target. So, Josh, I had this crazy idea as I finished Fallen Order the other day. What if they did the same thing with Luke? Like, if you just did Luke's journey through the original trilogy? Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Give Stream Deck a try. It makes everything pretty easy. Yeah, I got a Stream Deck. You want to see something cool with the Stream Deck? I could press a little button. Should I do it? So, yeah, I got a Stream Deck. We can go over here. We can go into the theater, do stuff like that. And then we got, like, oh, the thing's really low, so it's not going to work there. Let's pull that back up. And then all of a sudden, you got... Wow, we really screwed everything up when I just tried to do that. Because I don't even have my desktop audio playing right now. What's up with that? I don't get it. Well, we just ruined everything. We need a Palpatine emote? That's actually really cool. Yeah, I want to get another Stream Deck, actually, GA. And I think I'm actually going to get... We were talking a little bit about this yesterday. We had a little meeting, me, Dave, and Ryan. I actually want to get Stream Decks for all the EPs so that they can all potentially run streams and do stuff like that as we do. Josh broke it emoji. Hey, maybe. I'm down. I hope they do Fallen Order too. I enjoyed Fallen Order more than any Star Wars game. Yeah, it's really good. I sort of meme on it a little bit. I break it out, Damn, you handed out Stream Decks to people in the company, Adam. Bruh. Did you hear Tenet has to make $800 million just to break even? Makes you kind of get why the studios don't want to put big movies to VOD. Yeah. It's tough, dude. Look, I'm in the company. I'm an intern. Oh, shit. Hand me your paperwork then. Adam, buy one like I did, damn it. Yeah, they're not too pricey. Yeah, Hollywood in general, it's tough. It's tough, dude. Look, this is what this is like. Okay? Imagine you make sandwiches. Okay? You make these sandwiches, they're epic. They're huge sandwiches. They take so much time, so much money to make. But they make a lot of money. when you're done with your sandwich, you know you can put it in this certain place in this restaurant, and millions of people are going to come in, and they're going to buy a piece of that sandwich. They're going to bite. They're going to eat that sandwich. They're going to pay a certain amount for that sandwich, and you're going to get your money back from making that sandwich. Well, imagine you're working hard at making these sandwiches, okay? And all of a sudden, you've made all the sandwiches. You're ready to go put it into the restaurant. You're ready for the people. The restaurant can't even open up to put your sandwich in front of the people. The people themselves don't want to come to the restaurant to get the sandwich anymore. It's like your whole thing is totally screwed. But you already spent all the money to make the sandwich. What are you going to do with the sandwich? You could cut it up, package it, deliver it to the people. You're going to make way less money. You know what I mean? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Smoked it. Smoke it. Smoke the sandwich. I might literally go get a sandwich after this. That's wiggity whack, Josh. Pass the smoke sandwich? What are you guys talking about? Y'all is crazy, man. Y'all is crazy. Take out the theaters, cut, and they could get close worldwide. Ooh, Mike. Yikes. Yikes. Mike, speaking some truth that nobody wants to hear. I'm just going to ignore that comment, dude. Let's not get Trinity fired up. $5 foot long. Any. I'll be eating a sandwich during the nerd card now. As long as you can still answer your questions. It's a How I Met Your Mother bit. Let's talk about How I Met Your Mother. Let's talk about How I Met Your Mother a little bit. I had an ex-girlfriend that was obsessed with that show. Like, way too obsessed with that show. Would always have it on. Rewatched it like 7 or 8 times. Just keeps going through it. Loves the show and all that, okay? And because of that, I hate it. Does this ever happen to you guys? Have you ever had a significant other really, really like something? And because of that, you hate it. So, I hate How I Met Your Mother's stupid show. Even though it's probably fine. Yup, can't listen to Bruno Mars anymore. Yep. Can we talk about how Lucifer Season 5 is coming in 2 weeks? Do you watch it? I have never seen it, but I've heard it's cool. Audio says, yes, I effing hate The Office. Especially songs. Yeah. We got a great Maria Hill from it, at least. And yes, mad about you got broken my head. Lucifer in 2 weeks? Dan says, so the opposite. I met my significant other because of the show she put me on to. Hey, that can work too. It can work that way. Yeah, I want my movies too. It's technically a DC Comics show. Right on, dude. Right on. Yeah, it's on Netflix now, right? How I Met Your Mother was just bad? Nice. Is Trinity streaming today, guys? Does anybody know? Is Trinity streaming? I don't know. Is he? See if we can pull that up. Little tease. I'll give you guys a little bit of tease. So a couple of videos that we're working on, and I'll probably knock this out. This will probably be the first one that I do today. There's a lot of rumors, evidence to suggest that Giancarlo Esposito's character in The Mandalorian is Force sensitive. We got to talk about that because, dude, the implications are crazy. What does he want with the child? Is Baby Yoda meant to be his apprentice? Whew. Wild. Oh, hey, Trinity is streaming. Trinity is streaming. Trinity is streaming. Hell yeah. Let's get that link in the chat. We're going to get on out of here. Make the letters red or white so they stick out more. Probably a good idea. I'll experiment with that. Or Baby Yoda could make his Force sensitivity a whole lot stronger. Cameron, I've thought about that too. That would be sick. That'd be so cool. And I like that as adding to the lore, because then you could do something in the future where like some big baddie is hunting Force sensitives and like sucking out their blood and putting it in like themselves or something. We're talking about Battle World tonight at 5 p.m. Dope, man. Is that on your Twitch channel? And I did see you and some other people hit me up about Magic. I apologize. I will get back to you guys. Because we got to do some Magic together for sure. Is that on your Twitch, Burke? Cool. Sounds good, man. Yeah, guys, check out Burke's Twitch channel. Him and Captain Pennsylvania and Stormy are going to be talking some... What the hell are you guys talking about? What the hell y'all talking about? Battle World. Ooh, yeah, Battle World. That's just going to be dope. He teased he's Force sensitive, Dan, yeah. I don't think he said anything about Vader. But yeah. All right, one more time. Here's the link to Trinity's stream. Do I think Baby Yoda will end up being good or bad? I hope he ends up being evil as fuck. That's just me, though. I think that would be a great bait and switch, dude. You make the world fall in love with his character, and then you're like, oh, by the way, the pathway to the dark side is his path. That'd be great. How do I become a member again? So there should be a button next to subscribe. And if not, I can get you the link. And we'll start putting the link in all the videos and stuff like that. He inherited Vader's place in the mythology. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, he did say that, Trev. Oh, that's sick, dude. I got to dig in on that. That's going to be a kick-ass video. All right, everybody. I'm getting out of here. Go get over to Trinity's stream. What are you doing? Why aren't you over there already? Get over to Trinity's stream. I'll see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. for the Nerd Card Showdown Elimination Round. It's going to be hype. It's going to be dope. And I'll see you in a video later today as well. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next